Does the cocoa butter smear after it's painted?
It can if it isn't set up, so you just have to make sure you put it in the fridge. Once it's solid, as long as your room is pretty cool, you shouldn't have any problems with it smearing. Like when you're applying the airbrush colors, it won't smear. You can just apply and apply and apply and apply. As long as it's solid and cold, it won't smear.
Very
So you
cool.
have to be like super careful.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool.
Like the cocoa butter, I would call it the same consistency as a wax. So like imagine you're painting on your cake with, a candle wax, and that's kind of what you're ending up with. Doesn't taste like that though.
Okay. That's very cool. Oops. All right, and so there's another question. Do you ever mix your airbrush colors before you start painting?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have a really particular cake in mind or a design in mind. Absolutely. Definitely.
Very cool. All right. Someone said, what about wafer sheets? You said no wafer sheets. I saw someone in the chat say that they actually did use this on a wafer sheet. You'd
Okay.
have to be really, really careful with
Yeah.
with the colors, though. And
Yeah.
yeah, you'd have to be like almost dry brushing it.
Right, exactly. And I don't know if once you're getting onto that dry brushing, the color can settle on the cocoa butter itself a little bit,
Mhm.
so you're not getting that true color that's behind it. But if you can get it to work, I mean, all the power to you. That's just when I was just like, man.
Oh, someone said with the airbrush effect. I sorry, wasn't paying that close of attention when you were talking about whether you could do it with an airbrush.
Uh-huh.
Someone said the airbrush might dry the color too fast.
Exactly.
And so I just thought if we add that in there, it might be
Yeah.
helpful for people to understand why you probably shouldn't try doing it with an airbrush.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're like really close up with the airbrush to the cake and you're kind of getting some overspray, it might work, but you don't really want that. So you really want like a really watery, fluidy mixture. That's why we wouldn't use straight gel color because you want it to bead off of the actual cocoa butter. So that makes sense. I'm showing you
Okay.
the technical terms for all this.
You know what? It's all good. We all get confused with all the technical terms anyway, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so someone's asking again, where do you, okay, source for your wafer paper, or no, for your paper, your edible.
For the edible paper, I actually got this at Michael's. So it's just, I'll show you what the front looks like. So it's
Okay,
just
that's
a
Wilton brand,
Wilton.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a Wilton brand one. You can definitely, you can use whatever brand you like. I'm sure they'll all work similar, but that's worked really well for me. So you can
Awesome.
get that at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Amazon, I'm sure.
Very cool. Yeah, there are a few out there. The one that comes to my mind is Icing Images,
Yeah,
just because I use
I
them.
have,
They've got their.
right. And I haven't tried that exact brand, so I can't really tell you, but I'm guessing it would work similar.
I would imagine. I would imagine.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
All right, someone's asking, can you do this on like I lost the question, but on gum paste or on fondant that's had tiles added to it?
Oh, absolutely. I actually tried it on gum paste the other night. I was trying to get like that striped tulip effect, like the parrot tulip.
Oh, yeah.
So it worked pretty well. I think it was a little too shiny for my liking,
Mm-hmm.
because the gel colors or the airbrush colors will give that shine to it. But it worked. Definitely worked. It'd be fun to like layer some colors on the sugar flour with that, I think.
Yeah. Well, if you were going for something more whimsical, I mean, I
Yeah,
could see that
with
being really
solid
fun,
line.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that'd be really cool.
definitely.
Okay. How about just colored cocoa butter on wafer paper? Can you
Oh,
color cocoa butter
absolutely.
on wafer paper?
Yes. Cocoa butter is going to work wonderfully on wafer paper because it is a fat and it's not going to dissolve the wafer paper like our liquids would. So that's going to work really well on wafer paper. Cocoa butter, oil color, definitely.
Oh, and we had another question. How do you color the cocoa butter?
So I have these powders. These are CK powders,
Okay.
but I also use another brand called Sugar Art. They're really, really good too. Um, those are just what I have around. But yeah, you just mix right into the cocoa butter. So if I were you, I would maybe I like this whole double broiler thing. I don't know why. I'm sure there's easier and better ways to do it. That's where Michelle Boyd might come in. But I would use maybe a bowl instead of a cup, and you can just put a plate on top of the bowl with your different colors, so it keeps it nice and warm while you're working with it.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And then again, can you use this technique with pastillage?
Ooh, I haven't tried that. I've never actually worked with pastillage, so but I'm guessing you can because it's all sugar and I'm guessing it'd be absorbent. So I'm guessing yes.
Very
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, this has been so fun. So fun. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I'm so
I I think
glad.
this technique is so, so cool, and I think I can think of so many ways to use this now. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go do
I have a
it.
feeling we're just gonna see a ton of fun watercolor type
Yeah,
gigs.
if you guys do this technique or any of the other techniques that we show on CakeFu, share them with us. We love to see this kind of stuff. It's really
Yes,
fun.
yes, yes,
So,
yes. Remember, glow
um,
in the dark. Well, glow under black light. That works
yeah,
too.
so
Extra
cool.
tip. Great. This has been so much
So
fun.
fun. Yes, thank you so much. I was looking. Someone just said, I love the idea of this technique on sugar flowers. I've been racking my brain how to color certain varieties of flowers, and this opens up the possibilities so much.
Yay!
So,
Just be careful with the sugar flowers too, with the gum paste, because if you do add too much moisture to it, it can make the gums gummy again, even
mm-hmm.
after they've hardened. So just be careful with that. Just a little
Be
tip.
light.
Mhm.
Yeah, be light
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Avalon, for coming on and sharing this with us. You just are such an amazing artist, and I think that I think it's really fun to get people like you that come on that, you know, there are people that are very traditionally taught and but then there's us that have taught ourselves and we have to be creative sometimes and so it's fun to come up with these ideas and try them out and see what works and see what doesn't work and so to be able to come on and share what you've tried and what works I think that that's just really neat that you're willing to share this information with everybody. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
I'm so glad. It was so much fun, Amelia. Like always.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you everybody again. Go try it, show us your work, and we'll see you guys all next time. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, did you like what you saw? Are you wanting to learn more? Then click on the link below or press the subscribe button to keep yourself up to date on everything that CakeFu has to offer. Because there's always something to learn in the world of cake decorating.